Merry greetings, Descendants mine. I am the Ivory Tempest, the self-proclaimed candle of stories, who out of the other thousands of tales I juggle around, chose this specific story to tell. I know many of you may spot the name change. I indeed went by Sapphire Tempest previously, but I changed my name to my profile name, that is, to fit more of the role of my avatar in his story. Because if I am being honest, Sapphire never sounded right and never felt right in the context of my in-lore character my channel is based around. I wish to say, it is here I begin the stories of the First Descendant world, a series I will continue for a very long time. I will start with the most natural beginning a series like this could even wish for. We will start with the known origins of Ingris, the world in which we walk, the attack of the Vulgus, and the origins of we, the Descendants, and our powers which we use to this day. Before we get into what little we have of the lore, allow me to share some interesting facts about the world we know, that being Ingris. This is what I truly find most interesting about the main timeline of this world, for while we see around us a gargantuan sci-fi world on par with Destiny's, the world itself is only 100 years coming off its Middle Ages. That's right. Essentially, this world is only 100 years from its own medieval time period. For we came right out of using swords and shields to gunpowder explosives to technological advancements galore in the space of a century's time. I do not at current know the precise date and time of the First Descendant's world, as it has not been posted on the website as of this moment, but knowing we're sitting at merely 100 years after the Middle Ages, I'm willing to bet the world of Ingris is progressing through its 18th or 19th century. Or something along those lines. It could be even further depending on how long the Middle Ages of this world lasted. But I digress. We do not know. That's only my guess. Whether it's true or not is dependent on when the actual date is revealed in short time. Moving on, I'm sure you'd find it preposterous that humanity managed to advance centuries worth of technological discovery in the space of merely one. And you would be correct to assume such a thing. If humanity's advancement was strictly tied to our own civilization, that is. Allow me to elaborate. Let's take reference from the initial lore the website has provided us with, which reads as follows. It all began 100 years ago. The Vulgus crossed over the dimension, destroyed castles, and used humans as sacrifice or experimental objects. Humans who survived gathered in Albion, preparing for the final battle. It was then the Magisters, a certain group of high technical skills within the Vulgus, joined them. The Magisters were determined not to allow their weapons to harm Ingris any further, and above all, our Shay found in humans' genes was a genuine heritage which had infinite potential. By joining the Magisters, humans saw significant progress. They began to use gunpowder instead of swords and shields, and a group of chosen humans awakened their Ashe and became the Descendants. The Descendants are beings who are physically strong and possess magical abilities. They are believed to have power similar with the ancestors, who exist only in ancient records. Every Descendant is capable of handling the Vulgus alone, and a team of Descendants can even take on a Colossus. Thanks to the Magister's technology, Descendants are reviving hope for humanity across the continent. Yet still, humans are exposed to many great dangers. So, there it is made crystal clear. We did not extricate ourselves from the plight of the Vulgus on our own. It was a section of them who freed us from certain doom. It was those of the Magisters, who we name our saviors, who in our Middle Ages brought us the foundations to a century of technological advancement utilizing their own technology, Vulgus technology. Looking at this knowledge yet again, I come to compare our advancements to the Sangheili in the age-old stories of Halo lore. Like us, the Sangheili, or rather the elites, were in their own Middle Ages. Their blades were steel. Their technology lacked anything that could ever be thought of as power, or even so simply as electricity. So I see the Magisters like the Prophets, who in Halo's lore came to the Sangheili offering their own technology to advance their race hundreds of years forward in technology. The technology we saw in all of those games, the Covenant cruisers, capital ships, all of their plasma tech, it came from the Prophets. You can see the clear comparison. We are the Sangheili of this universe. But moving forward once more, I should make note that, like the prophets of Halo, the Magisters of the First Descendant had a motive behind advancing the human race forward. I do not know what said motive is at current, but it clearly tied directly into a specific trait of human biology they found intriguing, that being the magical powers we as humans are capable of wielding, the powers of Arshay. The mystical force of energy they found and awakened within us. These are the powers which every descendant uses against the Vulgus to this day. Like most magic, it has many flexible forms of damage, whether that be by fire, by lightning, by ice, etc., etc., etc. But the power in of itself is a mystery, a force of nature I believe only the Magisters understood to a degree. Whatever it is, I believe due to the emphasis placed on this power and its discovery, the powers of Arshay may indeed play an important role in the game's main story going forward. But so will another mystery presented to us in the lore. Referenced in the lore we have are mysterious entities called the Ancestors, from which we are descendants of, apparently. There is nothing we really know about them at current, outside of the fact that our powers in Arshay seem to be similar to what the Ancestors possess themselves. Who are the Ancestors is the question we will come to ask often in the coming days. Again, there is nothing we, nor even the characters in-game have beyond references from vague and ancient texts. But there are some guesses we can make as to their presence in the story. They are not the humans raised by the Magisters, no. That's where the Descendants started. The Ancestors are much older. They are said to only be referenced in ancient texts, and only a handful of times, I believe. That speaks volumes for their existence in the timeline. For we know here, humanity has only recently come out of the Middle Ages. If the Ancestors are as ancient as we are to believe, they may date back to even older stages of the world, and beyond. Where exactly? It could be any time by this point of our knowledge. The days of the Roman Empire, the days of ancient Mesopotamia, perhaps even the beginning of the world itself? We do not know at current. I can only throw out these meaningless guesses, but I believe we will find answers to the Ancestors in due time, as we will for the other mysteries of this universe. But it will certainly be a long-lasting mystery, I believe, for naturally, no one provides answers to these ancient mysteries so early in the game. Imagine if Bungie offered the answers to the Gardener and the Winnower by day 1 of Destiny 1. So no, instead I find it reasonable that we'll explore the mysteries of the Vulgus and the Magisters, and of course the Colossi, who I know little about at the moment. These mysteries we will explore once this game officially launches. In my case, that will be by the stroke of midnight. That is actually all I have at the moment. Again, we don't have too much lore for this game beyond this backstory and the character lore sheets that I will go over in time. I hope what simple things I provided you with leave you intrigued, and here I wish you good luck in progressing through the game upon the long-awaited release, which again, for me, is by midnight. If you found this little video satisfactory and would love to see many more in its likeness, please do not hesitate to leave a pleasant like and hit that loathsome subscribe button with the notification bell turned on so that you may tune in to its toll when another video rises from my channel. I am not certain what I'll be doing next. I want to pursue a YouTube career in the First Descendants lore, but I did in fact promise to work diligently on a few projects in Destiny lore. Specifically, I promised a few sequels to my Nezarec theory, which a few of you have been so patiently waiting for perhaps a week at this point. I have big things planned for that specific video, so it will take a while before I get close to finishing it. In the meantime, though, as the game launches so soon, I should cover various other elements of the First Descendant story first. Specifically, I will cover the lore and backstories of the individual characters, the Descendants, and as time unfolds, I will cover the main story itself, and point to the many mysteries it will present. This does not mean I will toss my Destiny lore content to the void. Please understand that. I wouldn't give up on that world so easily. But I want to make a starting point here, within the realm of the First Descendant. I really do. This is where I'm truly going to start doing things of my own. And I mean, who doesn't want to be an OG lore tuber for a video game that you find a passion for? Perhaps you can lend me your opinions on this matter in the comments down below. But here I will take my leave. I wish your days are joyous and happy, and I wish you all a merry farewell, till we meet again.